my brothers. I have achieved something you too could, but all of you are so single-minded. The only way to get true power in this cruel galaxy is to worship all the dark gods. Then, their power will be yours.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, me and my brothers have our own way to fly.
Doesn't that, like, hurt?
It is a good pain.
I'm going to stick to iron within and iron without.
Where are you two going anyways? Isn't the battle going to be taking place soon?
None of your business, winged salesman come Aztecs. Let us achieve something greater than this fool could ever hope to.
Oh, my poor iron friend. You say too much. I can't help but be intrigued by these things you say.
Word bearers. They like fire and mutations. This chest has a face on it, a Mark IV helmet with horns, and this shoulder pad has another face on it. And just like all my other raptors, he's gonna be flying, but he doesn't have a jump pack, so I drilled a hole into his flamer and shoved my stick in there and one into the base. Then I shot my goo all over it and just played with it for a bit until it looked like fire. If he doesn't have a jump pack, then how is he flying up there? With these wings! I rolled some green stuff up and made some L shapes, then some smaller ones for the little wing fingers. After they hardened, I stuck a glob on his back and stuck the L's in there. Then I made some shapes, just because. And because everything needs a long amount of time in between, after that had hardened, I flattened the green stuff and put it on there. Then when it looked okay, I put the wing fingers on, and then just used some scissors to make it look right. Oh hey look, it's primed now. Started with corn red, although I should have either highlighted it with Mephiston red, or just used Mephiston red instead of corn red, cause when I do the chaos mix, it gets a little bit too dark. But I'm getting ahead of myself. After the corn red, I decided to make his legs black with the Black Templar. No particular reason. Sometimes Chaos Marines have mismatched armor. Then I started the wings with Bugman's Glow. I'm trying to get a color in between human flesh and demon flesh. So I put on a bunch of Reichland flesh shade, and I let it pool just a little bit, not to the point where it looked bad, but just enough. Oh yeah, I also did the Black Templar things I should have done when I did the legs, which is mostly just the flamer and the horns. But eventually I had to do the trim with lead belcher. I also did the other metal bits too, like the parts of the flamer, and I only just thought about it. I probably should have used a chest without a jetpack harness. Oh well, I did that with lead belcher too. And then the horns on his head with skeleton horde. Then the face on his shoulder with Xandri dust. I tried to blend it in with the armor, but it didn't work, and doesn't matter anyways. Then just some small details left. Everland Sunset on the Flamer's fuel tank, and Mechanicus Standard Gray in all the armor joints. Oh, I forgot Runefang Steel over all the armor trim, not all the metal bits. Just the trim. I put some more Reichland flesh shade on the wings. Then I had the idea to make it look like it had been wounded, so I did just a little bit of Blood Angel's red and sort of wet blended it, and this time I remembered. I remembered to add the transfers before the chaos mix. I even gave him a little tattoo on his wing for fun. But now I mixed Reichland flesh shade, Typhus corrosion, contrast medium, and Black Templar to form chaos mix, and I put it all over except his wings, or the fire. I should also note, probably not a good idea to use your good brushes with this. I don't know much about what is and isn't good for brushes, but I did have trouble getting the brush back into its little plastic foreskin, so I don't know. Use a messed up brush for things like this, I guess. But anyways, I put a big glob of Tesseract glow in each of his eyes, and then another coat of Reichland flesh shade on the wings, and yeah, 3 coats is enough. Oh yeah, the red. I was saying before how corn red is too dark, and I mean look at it. It looks black rather than red, and I know I didn't add too much Black Templar to the mix because the not red parts look good. So to recover it, I make the red look red. I thinned corn red down. Oh, not thin enough. I really thinned down corn red, and yeah, it's not ideal, but it's fine. It's not like I'm going to make a big fire effect that's going to cover it all up anyways. So I tried to do this thing where first I would put down Everland Sunset mixed with white on the fire, except for the very deepest of crevices, and then thin down orange over the Everland Sunset. But I'm not very good at blending, so it's okay, I can fix it. I just thin the orange down and do a wash and no. I guess I'll also orange him up too, because, you know, fire reflecting back. Oops. I accidentally made a big mark on his wing, and I can't just paint over it because of how I painted it in the first place. Oh man, why is this all going wrong all of a sudden? Oh, I got an idea. Liquid green stuff stippled on, Black Templar, Blood Angel's red before the Black Templar dries, and then blood for the Blood God, and boom! It's like a burn wound or something. Finally, something goes right. Oh, I remembered how the back thing looked as the Reikland flesh shade was drying, and I wanted to recreate that, so I super thinned down Spirit Stone Red and covered the flesh ball. Yeah, now it kind of looks like it's got a candy shell. Oh yeah, fire. I know it may be a bit hard to believe, but I was trying to dry brush Evil Sun Scarlet. But I just kind of went with it, focusing it towards the bottom. Then when my brush was actually ready for dry brushing, I put a bit on the word bearer. Then, trying to fix it, I put some orange in the crevices, except near the flamer's nozzle where I put way more. Then I did the same with Everland Sunset, but trying not to cover the orange, and again, more towards the nozzle. Then I dry brushed Everland Sunset over the word bearer, then a little bit of white in the crevices near the nozzle. In there. That's about what I wanted. I feel like there's a lesson there. Just because you can't get the results you wanted the way you thought doesn't mean you can't do it. Nah, probably not.
Aztecs, where are you?
Ah, brother. Running from a battle you could easily win. That seems unlike you.
Sometimes, in order to kill the greatest of foes, you must run away from the easy fights.
Ah, I see. Mind if I join you?
Yes, I mind a lot.